These ball bearings are self-organizing into branching structures, just like the roots of a plant searching for water. They're the perfect thumbprint of electric charge.
You see, an experiment from Stanford in 2016 showed that ball bearings will assemble into wires if charged with high voltage DC.
This is the actual footage. The bearings spread out from the center, forming these weird arms, and they eventually even form into these primitive fractals, which is pretty wicked. That fluid you're seeing is Castrol Oil, which acts as a restrictive medium.
Tell me that's not just a little bit crazy. You know, it looks completely alive. So one thing I want to know is how long of a branching structure is possible? And kind of with that, does changing the viscosity of the oil change the appearance of those branches?
Well, I've got a few oils to try, and I've definitely got the high voltage power source, so... This video is proudly sponsored by NordVPN.
This Stanford experiment is cool enough that it's actually inspired several people to do their own spins on it. For example, James over at Action Lab shot a brilliant video on self-assembling wires that can solve a maze. Really.
When he applied the high voltage, you can see the ball bearings start to follow the most conductive path to ground. It's a little messy, but they actually eventually get there. It's a really good idea James had. Also, Mehdi at Electroboom had some success repeating the Stanford demonstration using iron shavings. The traces were really faint, but you can definitely see them.
It made sense that repeating the original Stanford experiment would give me a base to test and kind of build off of, so that's what I did first.
For supplies, I settled on a combination of 1 and 2 millimeter ball bearings, kind of hoping to add some diversity to the fractals. The container I used is a short acrylic tray. It's not circular like Stanford's was, but I had a solution for that. I then poured about a ½ inch of vegetable oil into the tray and placed the happy little volunteers into the circle. Around the inside edge of that tray, I placed a ring of metal mesh to basically act as an electrode. This connects to the electrical ground on the Van de Graaff. Stabbing the positive electrode right into their heart and connecting that to the top of my Van de Graaff, it was basically good to go. This generator is actually from my last video. It's a total celebrity appearance, and I had no idea to tell if it would actually provide enough current for this, but it does excel in the voltage category. I definitely made sure to crank that power down.
This is my attempt at the Stanford experiment. Let's see if it works. Turning on the power. Let's see, is it... Oh, dude! Dude, it's working! Oh, that's crazy! Look, you can see this one's branching out right here, trying to make contact with the outer electrode. And it did it. Kind of really quickly, too. I'm gonna repeat it again, but I took out some ball bearings and I did a different camera angle. Let's see. Yeah! That's so crazy. Oh my god. Look, they're moving themselves. And the way it works is actually really simple too, right? So it's a combination of two main processes. Processes. First of all, like charges repel and opposite charges attract. And starting out, all the ball bearings are in contact with each other in the middle, and they're made of metal, so they're all charged to the same positive high voltage.
This causes them to repel outward away from each other in a way that kind of keeps them electrically connected. The outer negative electrode provides an opposite charge that they're attracted to and can reach out towards. Some of them develop fractal branching in an attempt to find the most conductive path.
And second, slightly related to the first one, is the ball bearings loosely follow the electric field lines that radiate out from the central electrode.
This is similar to a Lichtenberg pattern left behind by a lightning strike, say, on a golf course.
Okay, so that's the general science. Now to find out how long of a branching structure is possible. You know, is this limited to a couple centimeters or a couple of meters? Only one way to find out.
This time I'm using a long rectangle tray about 30 centimeters long. Instead of an electrode surrounding the perimeter like last time, it'll just be at one end. And on the other end, I'll place the ball bearings. This is unknown territory. I don't know what's going to happen, so drop a comment down below, let me know what you think.
And whoever writes the most meme-worthy comment will get pinned to the top. Oh, come on. Look, it's Right here is where it's going to happen. I think it's going to connect right here. But it's really slowing down. I don't know if it's going to make it, but it might. Oh, it's super close. Look, right there. I'm going to zoom in. Hold on. Boom!
Okay, so this is dope. If you disrupt the previously made path, it'll reassemble into the next most conductive path, like it's healing. It's amazing, and this is the finished product. It looks like art.
While I filmed that, it was just such an interesting thing to watch. You know, it's like an alien metal tree trying to put its roots down. I mean, there's nothing quite like it. You know, and one of those roots just barely reached the edge of the container, you know, about 30 centimeters away or so. So I think that's the limit for length of a chain we can make with the power source that I'm using. But, I mean, that's still a 60 centimeter circle.
To this point, I've just used olive oil, so now let's give it a go with mineral oil, which is much less viscous. In fact, it kind of pours like water. It's interesting, the mineral oil provides so little resistance to movement that the ball bearings just bounce back and forth. They're not restricted, so they don't really form chains. They just run around like they've got a terrible case of ADHD stealing charges. Next up is Castrol Oil. This stuff is really viscous, really thick. In fact, it kind of pours like thick syrup. Turning it on, those ball bearings, whew, they're crawling. The castor oil provides so much resistance. It's interesting. And it is interesting because you do need oil for this experiment. Oil protects against the loss of high voltage charges, and that allows this whole thing to work. Otherwise, the charges would just leak away. Even sped up, this thing's taken a while, so let's let it run for a couple minutes.
While that's running, I'd like to talk about another form of protection, cybersecurity. You know, personally, I like knowing that my personal information, my search history, and my actual physical address are not made public, right? NordVPN provides a super easy way to protect those things by masking your computer location. Here's how it works.
Once you've downloaded NordVPN and open it up, you're greeted with a really cool map showing VPN locations around the globe and your current protection status up top. All you have to do is click any spot around the world you'd like your computer to be at, so to speak, and the world now thinks you're surfing the internet from that location. There's also a quick connect option where you just push a single button and the system chooses a location for you. It's really cool.
So if you'd like to surf the internet like a ninja and keep your private information private like it's supposed to be, go to nordvpn.com/plasmachannel and use the code plasmachannel for 70% off of a 2-year plan. And you get the first month for free. So, all right, let's check it out.
Okay, that's just cool looking. I mean, but it's still not done. Here's the footage sped up by 2,000%. And here's me doing it again over a black background and using my finger as the ground. This is a really great visual of how an electric charge likes to travel outwards, basically frozen in time. Oh, and I did try casting this whole process in epoxy so that it would literally be frozen in time, but it didn't work out. So let me know if you have any suggestions.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video as much as I did, and if I earned it, please consider subscribing and turn on your notifications for new videos. A massive thank you to all of my patrons who continue to support my work, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time, you classy cats.